Jeg er taget til New York over for at besøge THQ, der holder et event for at præsentere nogle af deres nye titler. En af de spil, der stikker ud, det er Homefront. Det er en ny serie af skydespil, det man kalder for FPS-spil. Det er et spil, der skal ud og konkurrere med blandt andet Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, Battlefield, alle den slags spil. Jeg skal ind og møde Rex Dixon, og jeg skal stille ham nogle af jeres spørgsmål, og jeg skal selvfølgelig også høre, hvad Homefront egentlig har at byde på i forhold til alle konkurrenterne ude. Så lad os komme ind og finde ham.
This is Viper 2-1. We received your message, providing close air support. Let's take this down back.
So the opening scene seems pretty rough. Is it a rough game?
Yeah, emotionally unsettling, I would call the game. Exploring some very heavy themes of what happens to civilians when war comes to their home front.
And you're not afraid that that will get the game banned, maybe?
No, actually, that we took some risks, and there's definitely some content that'll be a little bit controversial. But these are necessary steps in order to achieve what we want to call emotion in games. If you want to pull emotions out of people, you're going to have to take some creative risks like that. And we're pretty comfortable with the risks we've taken. I would say it's on par with like a Half-Life 2 in terms of its storytelling, but I think if you look at most of the FPSs these days, everything from Call of Duty to Medal of Honor, you'll see a much heavier emphasis on story than there was, in the past, and we're definitely in that mold.
So the stories about Korea taking over in US, would that happen in real life?
So, well, first of all, I should say that the story is based around Korea invading the US, but the story itself is actually about civilian freedom fighters and these, people that don't have any prior training in combat choosing to take up arms to take back their country. That's really what the game is about.
I got a couple of questions from the viewers. The first one is a guy called Simon. Will this be the next step for the FPS genre?
Well, to answer Simon's question, I think there's a lot of different directions the FPS genre could go. This is just one of them. The main difference being this sort of emotionally heavy approach to shooters and dealing with violence and actually having the characters talk about their reactions to violence and killing. You won't find this in any other game. This is our step forward for the genre, but I don't think it represents the only step forward for the genre.
I got a question from Jept. How is this different and better than the multiplayer part than, for instance, Bad Company and Call of Duty?
Sure. What was the name? Jept? Okay. So to answer your question, Jept, I would say the main difference between those games is if you look at the DICE games, the Battlefield games, the Danger Close game, the Medal of Honor, the big difference for us is feature innovation, that we're bringing this idea of battle points and battle commander as these interesting sub-games that are sort of on the fly as you play that represent, it makes the game feel a lot different from all those other games which sort of feel the same to us.
Cookieman, he asked, do you know why the name changed of your company to Chaos Studio?
Yeah, Trauma Studios, we were independent when we were Trauma, and they were actually a mod team. They were kind of like separate from each other. And when that team was unified and we actually became a studio, and then THQ stepped in, it was decided at that time to sort of change the name of the studio because we had evolved from a mod team to something else. Chaos is sort of the identity that we built when we formed an actual AAA development studio.